Hello, Formula One fans, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into the dramatic world of Formula One, where Max Verstappen's incredible run has taken center stage. But has it also exposed an insecure side of Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes? Let's explore this captivating topic. In recent times, Max Verstappen has been on a record-breaking spree, showcasing his exceptional talent with a series of stunning victories. The Verstappen era is in full swing. But as Verstappen continues to dominate, we've seen reactions that suggest something deeper is at play. Lewis Hamilton, a seven-time world champion and an icon of the sport, is facing mounting pressure. Verstappen's rise has pushed Hamilton to the limit, challenging his reign. The media exchanges between the Max Verstappen Red Bull and the Lewis Hamilton Toto Wolff duo were somewhat interesting throughout the 2023 F1 Italian GP race weekend. It all started with Hamilton claiming that unfair intervention to slow Red Bull down was good for the sport. It was followed by the Mercedes driver's comments about Verstappen's teammates, and finally, it all ended with Wolff terming the Dutchman's records irrelevant. The veracity of these comments is something that we will go through one by one, but there is a question that surely pops up in this situation. Has the Max Verstappen Red Bull dominant run exposed the somewhat insecure side of the Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes? Let's take a look if we can answer this question. Lewis Hamilton's desperate calls for FIA intervention. What was he said? Lewis Hamilton stressed earlier in the weekend that an FIA intervention that slowed down Red Bull would be a good thing for the sport. The driver talked about how even when he was dominant in F1, he always talked about how it would be better if there was more competition at the front. Hamilton also talked about how the floor regulations were changed from 2020 to 2021 to stop the Mercedes domination, and even other systematic changes that were made when he was winning. I think, within our sport, we have to continue to work on making sure we're having close racing, because I think you've seen the social engagement drop a huge amount this year, being that it's obviously heavily impacted on competition. People want to see that. So, we have to make sure that we're making the right decisions, or the governing body is making the right decisions, to keep us close and great racing right to the end. We need more grandstands. I don't know whether we need to lower the cost, but maybe, I don't know. Unfortunately, there's not much validity to his claims. Sure, Lewis Hamilton said a few times during the team's dominant era that he hoped there was more competition, but he was not really an advocate of changing technical regulations to help other teams. There was a token system put in place that restricted power unit development and stopped other teams from catching up. Hamilton was never an advocate of changing the regulations and helping the rivals catch up. He never did such a thing. Even when Red Bull was without a power unit at one stage and Mercedes flatly declined to supply the Team 1, Hamilton did not advocate giving the Team 1 to help boost competition. Statements and actions are two different things. None of his actions were in favor of boosting competition in F1 during the era in which the Hamilton-Mercedes duo dominated the sport. So the Brit can now make all these statements about how close completion is great for the sport. It's safe to say that when he was winning, he did nothing to make that happen. Lewis Hamilton's comments about Max Verstappen's teammates. What was he said? Long story short, Lewis Hamilton claimed each of his teammates was better than the ones Max Verstappen has had in his career. When I qualified half a second, 6/10 ahead of Valtteri, they didn't say the same thing as they say today when Max qualifies 6/10 ahead of Perez. It's blown up much more. And in my personal opinion, Valtteri, and actually all of my teammates, have been stronger than the teammates that Max has had, Hamilton told Sky Sports. Jenson Button, Fernando Alonso, George Russell, Valtteri, Nico Rosberg, I've had so many. These guys have all been very consistent, and Max has not raced against anyone like that, Hamilton added. Lewis Hamilton has overall had better teammates in his career, but at the same time, not every teammate of his was better than what Max Verstappen has had. Toto Wolff dismissing Max Verstappen's record, arguably a bit of a surprise, did come at the end of the race weekend in Monza when Toto Wolff downright dismissed Max Verstappen's record. In one of the most dismissive comments about the achievement, the Mercedes boss said, "Our position was different because we had two cars fighting against each other. I don't think he cares too much about records. Neither do we, because I don't think anyone reads Wikipedia." Now this is where it gets interesting, because if Toto Wolff had maintained this stance throughout the last decade or so, then it wouldn't be an issue. This is exactly the point where a little flashback is not a bad thing. Here are Wolff's comments when Lewis Hamilton got his 100th win in Sochi, Russia in 2021. I think we are witnesses of a career that is just amazing. That 100th race victory is just mind-blowing. Today we talk about it. It's going to be in the news for 24 hours, but only 20 years down the line we are going to realize that we've been part of that. But we realize that you are being part of a journey that no other sportsman in Formula One has done so far, and that is beyond the races that we've won, the championships. That is from the humanist aspect. To be part of this is special, Wolff added. These comments do make Toto Wolff come across as a bit hypocritical in all fairness, and in complete contradiction of what he essentially talked about when it came to Max Verstappen's records. Is all of this a sign of insecurity? If we go back and look at the comments made by Lewis Hamilton and Toto Wolff, both of them seem off. Neither of them was premeditated, and it's almost an adverse reaction to the record-breaking run for Red Bull and Max Verstappen. If you look at the car advantage that Max Verstappen and Red Bull have, then overall it is reminiscent of the kind of advantage that Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes had in the turbo hybrid era. However, if we look at the record that the Dutch driver and the Austrian team have put together, it is just astounding to see how well the dominance is just better than their predecessors. Even from a team perspective, Red Bull has taken the crown away from Mercedes and just leveled up. The team is on an 11-race win streak right now. The maximum that the German team ever hit was 11. To add to this, it's the kind of run that might not end soon enough, as the team hardly makes any mistakes, adding to the misery of the Austrian, who was in a rough mood after the 2023 F1 Italian GP as it is. So, has Max Verstappen's record run exposed an insecure side of Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes in Formula One? The answer remains open to interpretation. What's clear is that it's redefining the sport and delivering unforgettable moments. As we continue to witness this incredible battle, we'll be here to bring you all the insights and updates. If you found this video intriguing, don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth analysis of the world of Formula One. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.